Fuck! Shit me. Well, that was stupid. Well, fuck. Oh, fuck me. Oh, what a fucking wipe. Fuck. Oh, wow, she needed one more hit. Yeah, of course she did. Ah! Wow, that's annoying. Oh, well. Fucking get some of that down, you... Fuck. Fuck off. Fucking hell. Oh, finally. Shit. Fuck. Shit. Fucking hell. Well, this is the last go. I can't be dealing with that. Oh. Fuck. Fuck. Shit. Right, this is my last go no matter what. Fuck. Ugh. Fuck. No, that's it.
Welcome everyone, as always we're unlocking all the achievements, and in today's video is Cuphead. I just wanted to start off by saying I really enjoyed my time with this game. I've been meaning to get around to it for a long time, but in an age where a lot of games, in my opinion nowadays, are just quite basic, predictable, bland, and they just follow the same gameplay loop, talking about mostly Ubisoft games here, but this just felt like a breath of fresh air for me. The art style, the gameplay, the humour, the sound design behind it is just really good, and I just haven't really experienced anything like this in a while, where I felt that just a lot of passion and heart had been put into a game. But I just wanted to give you my quick opinions on it, and if you haven't played this, I definitely recommend doing so. Anyway, we'll get straight into it. So, step 1, we're just going to do a standard playthrough, get all the story related achievements we can on normal difficulty, just doing the hardest part here, the tutorial, and straight away on our first boss we get our first achievement for beating him without taking a hit. And this game is deceiving here, the bosses are a lot harder than this, and they are going to be a lot harder than this. This is probably the easiest the game is. So we're doing our first run and gun here. And along the way we get an achievement for parrying 20 times. As we're exploring the map, this is a really good little touch, just like the little map you can explore. We get an achievement for finding a shortcut. Then immediately after that, we complete 100 parries. Now, moving on, we're just taking a detour to the DLC, as we need to acquire the broken relic, which we get an achievement for defeating that boss. He's part of the DLC, and we also get an achievement for defeating the boss with one of the new weapons, which is part of the DLC. Now, we get the broken relic in order to level it up into the divine relic, which requires defeating 10 bosses, and I wanted to get this done early because there's an achievement for that. After defeating the boss here, we get an achievement as he's the last boss of the island. We then make it onto the second island and we defeat another boss here, and this is the last boss I need to level up the broken relic, which is what that achievement is for, obtaining Great Power Paladin. We also get another achievement for defeating the boss with a finishing move. Now, this run and gun mission, you have to parry an enemy 5 times in a row, and this was the easiest mission to do it on, so we just got that out of the way here.
Oh, he's mine, mate. He is mine.
We then make it to the last boss of this island, and we get an achievement for completing all the bosses on Island 2. Moving on, we defeat a boss on 1 HP. Funnily enough, that happened quite a lot, but we also got an achievement for defeating a boss with a super art here. Now throughout this game you get new abilities from Miss Chalice and you have to do like a special parrying mission. And after completing that level, we get an achievement for obtaining all the super arts. Next up we are on Island 3 and this is the last boss of Isle 3 and that gives us another achievement. Next up we're on King Dice, so this is the penultimate boss to, and there's going to be spoilers in this, the last boss is the devil, but this is the penultimate boss before the devil. And this is basically like a mini boss gauntlet, but I'm just showing you the end of this here. But after beating him, we get an achievement for completing the casino. Now we're at the end of the game. This is the last boss, or not, if you decide to hand over the contracts of souls, then you don't need to fight him and you get an achievement for prematurely completing the game. But I guess this is technically the bad ending. We end up reloading our save and we refuse to give him the soul contracts, which ends up in him being a little bit angry, so we end up having to fight him. Now this fight wasn't too difficult. You know, I expected more from this one. I mean, it was tough. I had a few failed attempts that I wasn't happy with, as with a lot of bosses on this. But he definitely wasn't the hardest boss in the game. I'd say he's like medium tier, to be honest. I struggled with a lot more bosses than this. I was surprised how quickly I did end up doing this one. But we are on normal after all. We're not on expert. Yet.
Shit. I nearly had it. Oh, so close.
And after finally defeating him, we get the achievement for defeating the devil.
He's done. Get out.
So that is our first playthrough done. And we also get an achievement for completing the game on normal, which is the difficulty we started on. I really enjoyed my time with the first playthrough. It was a lot of fun and there was a lot of pain. I was not looking forward to what Expert had in store for me, but we'll get onto that. We're moving on now to step 2. So step 2, we are going back, we're going to get some of the collectibles, we're going to get some of the miscellaneous achievements throughout the story, and we will also do the DLC in step 2 as well. But I'm just mopping up the run and gun levels here and collecting the gold coins, and we get the achievement for collecting every coin in all the levels. I then have to collect the gold coins in the overworld areas, and I get an achievement for collecting every gold coin in the game here, which is a 0G achievement, which is pretty meaningless. I also unlocked an achievement for getting an S rank, and I went back and did the very first boss of the game because he was the easiest for me. But the achievement didn't pop, so I just showed it to you in my achievement tab there after I beat the boss. While mopping up the achievements on this playthrough, we do have to do a whole new run through of all the bosses because we are going for an A rank on every boss for this step as well. So you only need to get an A rank. The variations of it don't matter. It can be an A minus, it can be an A plus, it can be an S rank if you want it to be, but it's fine just to get an A minus. Now there's a few I do get an A plus on, but I'm not like outright going for them. I settle for an A minus on a lot of the bosses. But I'll skim through some of the bosses here. Some I had trouble with, well, a lot I had trouble with, as you'll see. But while making our way through these bosses, we will also get a few achievements, a few miscellaneous achievements.
Oh, gotta be an 8, right? Oh, thank God. Christ.
So we get an achievement for obtaining A rank on all the bosses on the first isle.
Oh, we got him. I don't think it's an A. Oh, we did get an A. There you go, say rank on all them.
This dragon, by the way, was an absolute nightmare. And this was on normal, just trying to get the A rank for him. But he gives you a hell of a time on expert. He is the last boss of Isle 2, so we get an achievement for that, A ranking him. We're on the last boss of Isle 3 again here, going for our A rank. And this was our successful attempt.
Yeah. Not happening, mate. Oh, I've jumped into it. Damn it, I was on for a 0 hit as well. Fuck.
And as you see, in order to get an A rank, you have to get most of the results on the side screen there to gold. You can fail a couple of them, but you need to get like 90% of them filled, so finishing on 3 HP and getting 6 parries throughout a fight, etc. We now make it to the final boss again, and we just need to A rank this guy. And we've got A ranks on all the bosses and all the achievements for that.
Piss off, son. Yes, we can. There we go.
Okay, so we're going for a little miscellaneous achievement here where you have to beat a boss while only in miniature mode in a plane. So it's on one of these on-rails flying sections, and I quite enjoyed these levels. Some of them were really difficult, like way more difficult than just the actual bosses. But we got the achievement here, and these are all 0 Gs, like 0 gamer score achievements, so they're pretty pointless.
Thank you.
I went for another achievement here, another miscellaneous one where you have to have 9 HP. So I activated the genie because he gives you 3 HP, and then I activated a charm which gives you a few more HP. So I managed to bump it up to 9 HP, and we just unlocked that achievement. We do a lot of these in King Dice's layer, these miscellaneous achievements, but the one I'm going for right now is we have to complete King Dice, the whole boss look gauntlet, and we have to do it without getting hit. And I say that, but that's not entirely true. As long as you finish the fight on 3 HP, you still get the achievement, because I believe that's the base HP the game gives you. But, you know, with the use of charms,
Oh, fuck off.
I don't believe you can use the genie on this. I think you can use charms, or you can use a skill where if you parry, that'll gain you an extra HP. But we did what we could to bump our HP up, and as you can see I'm on 3 HP here, so if I get hit once I will fail this achievement. But the problem is you have to make it through about 5 or 6 little mini bosses before you get to fight him, so odds are you'll take a bit of damage along the way. But after defeating him without getting hit, or defeating him with still 3 HP, we get the achievement, which is another 0G achievement. But they all matter, because we want 100%.
Yeah, get that down, you prick. And we got it.
Okay, so moving on, this is, for me, I genuinely think this is one of the most annoying achievements I've gone for in this game, and that was to get Pacifist on every run and gun level. Now, some of these, like, I love Crash Bandicoot. I've got all the achievements on Crash Bandicoot 4, and that was nails hard. But I seriously struggled with some of these, and I really didn't think I would. But you can see I'm right at the end of the flag here. But to get Pacifist, you have to get through these run and gun levels without killing any enemies. But there were a couple of these levels where I was literally stuck on them for an hour. I also made a mistake in I didn't realise I had the genie equipped, which basically does not give you a pacifist rank no matter what. It voids the pacifist rank. But eventually we get the pacifist achievement there for doing the last run and gun level. Now moving on, we are on the DLC here. So we're straight into the DLC, because I wanted to finish the last step. I wanted to finish the game with the expert achievement. But after defeating our first boss in the DLC as Miss Chalice, we get an achievement. We then make our way onto the final boss of the first isle for the DLC, and we get an achievement for beating the last boss of the isle. Now, as it's a DLC, there aren't many bosses in each isle. I think there's like 3 per isle, which doesn't sound a lot, but to be fair, the effort that goes into these with their designs and how they work is really well done. So we make it onto this little boss gauntlet. It's basically like King Dice, but in the DLC. And it's just like different chess pieces, and they're called champions. Now, I got an achievement for defeating all of the champions there, but the achievement didn't unlock, so I had to like restart my Xbox and do it all again, and the achievement unlocked after defeating the first champion, so it works. The second achievement as well is for completing them all back to back without dying. So after completing them all without dying, we then get another achievement. We then pick up the last item we need from Pork Ryan's shop, and we get an achievement for that.
It's everything bought, boys.
We have now reached the final boss of the DLC, and I have cut through a few of them. I've only chosen to show you a few of these bosses, just because if you do play this, I don't want to completely spoil the experience for you if you see this video, because some of the bosses are just really, really fun to play, and the art design's really cool, and I just don't want to spoil it. But after completing the final boss here of the game, we get an achievement, story related, for basically beating the DLC. Now moving on, we have to re-go through the DLC, as we have to get A ranks on all these bosses again, like we did in the main game. Now, I got a lot of the A ranks just on my first playthrough of the DLC, but this was the last A rank I needed, so we got that achievement here. I then also re-fought him again, as you need to get an S rank on one of the bosses, and this, in my opinion, was the easiest boss to do it on. So we unlock that achievement here. Blazing through, we then have a level specific achievement here for defeating that boss without hitting any of his minions. I then went back to the main game just to get a final miscellaneous achievement here for defeating a boss with Miss Chalice's super art. Now, with the DLC out of the way, we are on the final stretch. Moving on to step 3. So for step 3, all we have left is an expert run. We also do have to kill 10 different bosses as Miss Chalice. So I went over to the main game, put it on expert, and then went through until I got the achievement for beating the bosses with Miss Chalice. I stopped using her and I went back to Cuphead. This is quite funny. I died 975 times apparently. I'm pretty sure I was over 1,000 by the end. As I was saying, I didn't want to use Miss Chalice for the rest of the game on expert because I think she's OP. I genuinely think she is, and I just wanted to finish it with the main characters you get in the base game. Now, the main difference for the bosses is they're a lot quicker, they use their attacks more often, and I can't tell you the amount of times I got right to the end of the flag, I got right to the end of the boss, and I just got killed. And you'll see a lot of this, like, I'm just dwindling, I'm just hanging on by a thread with 1 HP. Now, some of these bosses weren't too difficult, some of them were an absolute fucking nightmare. That one was excruciating, he needed like 1 more hit.
Oh, that was coming right up my ass, wasn't it?
Now this boss right here was my kryptonite.
Fuck.
I don't know what anybody else thinks of this boss, but for me, this boss was the one that it took me the longest, 1.5 hours sometimes, and on expert that took me about another 1.5 hours. I probably spent about 4 hours on this boss in total. I just could not get a good thing going with her at all. I don't even know why I found her so difficult, because I don't think she's the hardest boss in the game. I just struggled with her every single time. I swear maybe it was because I was playing the game really late and she was always the boss that I was on at like 12 AM trying to fight, so my mind just wasn't in it. The thing is, the honeycomb platforms are just RNG based.
Not ideal. Fucking fuck me!
So every time you fight her, the platforms will be different, and the amount of times I fell off, I lost count.
Ah, fucking boxing glove. Fucking get some of that down, you bitch. God. Oh. Fuck on off.
Now we make it to Dr. Carl's robot. I thought I'd give this one a mention. I could consistently get past the first phase, or the second phase even, but this phase, his last phase at the end, I would get to this part with like 5 HP and he'd slap me. I'd still just lose my mind. And the good thing about these bosses is, and the difficulty, is that it always feels like, well, it always is, it's down to you. And I never really felt cheated on this. I always felt that it was always my own doing. I didn't have too much to complain about. And every time I'd accomplish one of these bosses and beat them, it just felt so satisfying. You know, the same satisfaction I get when you defeat a difficult boss in something like Dark Souls or Sekiro. It feels like you've overcome something, it feels like you got better at the game. And I think that's why I really enjoyed this one. It wasn't like a cheap difficulty, even though some of their moves did at times feel a little bit cheap. But they got the balance in really well for some of these bosses. But eventually we do get a successful attempt on this guy. But this was another one that probably took me about an hour of trying.
Fuck off. Oh, finally. Oh, yes we can.
And we make it to the end boss here, the devil. And it ends on a bit of a win because, to be honest, this guy wasn't too bad. I did have problems with him, and I believe I actually ended my stream because I was fighting him for about 45 minutes and I just couldn't do it. It was really late at night, and then I started to stream the next day, and I did it on like my second attempt.
There you go, boys. That's that all done.
But that's it, that's the last achievement, that's that spat done. And that's another game maxed out. I hope you've enjoyed this one, it was really fun to make. Any games you'd like to see me get all the achievements in, just comment down below, and I'll be sure to get around to them. And I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.